Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and this is my granny era. Today I am doing the Honest BookTuber tag. I am really excited about all these tags that I've been tagged in. I love tags, but I'm super behind. So tonight, my plan is just to sit here and do tags. Tag videos until I get them all done. So Honest BookTuber Tag, this tag was originally created by Harriet Rose 13. I was tagged by Gina at the Library Mouse. Thank you, Gina. And this tag has 10 questions, and then the 11th is to tag some people. If you watch this tag and you think it's super fun, go ahead and do it. Consider yourself tagged. But I will tag some new booktubers down the description box. I always like to tag new booktubers to welcome them to BookTube. All right, let's get started on this tag. So number 1, have you ever lied about reading a book? Now, after graduating high school, no, I don't think I've ever lied about reading a book. Like, I've never been like, oh yeah, I've read that, and then I have like not read that. But in high school, yeah, definitely, because I was really overwhelmed. I was in a lot of advanced placement classes in high school, and while the aptitude was there, the stress level was not prepared. I didn't have I wasn't in the right emotional state to handle all of the advanced placement classes that I was put into. So the workload was really heavy, and I can remember before my senior year, at the end of the junior year, they got all of us together that they were going to put into the senior AP English class. And it was like the elite English class. They got us all together and asked us if we even wanted to be in that class. And of course, I was just like, yeah, because I was an overachiever who didn't understand that, you know, at some point you can say no. And so I was like, yes, definitely. And so they gave us a reading list for the summer. They're like, you need to read all this stuff this summer so that you'll be ready for this class come the fall. And I was kind of a procrastinator, and I was just like, yeah, well, fine, so I'll get through these real quick, because when I would sit down and read, you know, just something for fun, I would fly through it in an evening. So I figured I'd just fly through them the last couple of weeks before school starts and I'll be fine. And so I didn't really look at it for quite a while that summer. I played and partied and worked a lot. And then come the end of the summer, we're getting ready for class to start. I'm looking at this stuff and Canterbury Tales, right? How many hundreds of pages? Les Miserables. You know, the big stuff. And then just stuff that I don't feel like I was ready for, like Kafka. I don't know. I don't even remember what was all on there, but I remember those. And so, yeah, definitely lied about that. Definitely tried to keep up. And that was like pre-internet days, right? That was 96. So there was no like, hey, I'll just check Wikipedia real quick, or hey, I'll just watch a couple of BookTube videos about this book and I can sort of wing my way through it. And so it was apparent, I'm sure, that I had not read it. And I know that I probably wasn't the only one in the room who hadn't. But I've still kind of always carried guilt about that. And I almost just want to see if my little old lady English teacher still has access to that list so I can read it and not have so much guilt about skipping out on all that stuff. All right, number 2, have you ever avoided a book because of controversy around the content or the author? Yes, around content. Probably not the author. Although Mark Twain, I just have a thing, right? Because he doesn't like Jane Austen, and so I have avoided him for years. But he is on my children's literature reading read-along for 2025 that I'm hosting, and so I'm gonna read him. I actually did enjoy reading his travel diaries, whatever, when he went to Hawaii. And I don't know, okay. But besides that, I don't think I've avoided an author because of controversy. I tend to separate for the most part, but I actually do need to make a video on this. I told Debs at Rain to Read Stuff that I was going to make a response video to her response video, that to somebody else's response video, I think, that had to do all about what should we do about that, right? When you have an author who has just lived a life that is just not okay, right? Been involved in some yucky scandals, controversies, committed some crimes, just not a super decent person. What do you do about their stories, right? And so I have all kinds of responses for that, and I just need to sit down and make that video. When it comes to books, though, yes, I've definitely avoided some things because of controversy or just, you know, just because of content, really. It's usually just about content. So if I get wind that a certain book has, you know, issues, elements, storylines that I struggle with, you know, whether I just don't prefer to read that sort of content, or if it's something that would really upset me, right? I can't read stuff about like little kids. I can't read stuff about losing your dad because I lost my dad. Like there's certain things I can't read about. So, you know, that kind of stuff. I know it's not very controversial, but just, I definitely avoid books when I hear about content issues that I know is going to be difficult for me. And so I appreciate that as a heads up. I know a lot of people are like, ooh, controversy, it's a banned book, I gotta go after it, right? And so I would probably read banned books at some level, like maybe older banned books that were banned for just ridiculous, sort of closed-minded, head in the sand reasons. But I don't know about current ones. I don't know. I guess it would just depend on what the controversy was. But for the most part, I think I tend to just be like, if it's that big of a deal, I'll just avoid it. And I think that the reason for that, though, I would like to clarify, is not so much avoiding certain topics as it is avoiding wasting my time. So I feel like if there's a book subject that I'm just not thinking I'm going to enjoy, or that's going to upset me or whatever, I don't want to waste my time getting into it and getting involved with the characters and, you know, getting into the story only to then face this thing I was already warned about. And I don't want to spend my money on something that I may not go through all the way, right? And that happens all the time, of course. When we take a chance on a book, we take a risk when we buy things at full price, especially. But I don't want to waste my time and money. I think it's really the issue. So I appreciate a heads up without spoilers. Number 3, have you ever been sent a book for free and not disclosed it? So I have been sent tons of books for free. I did book reviewing for years back in the day when I was just, you know, doing blogging and not doing YouTube. And if I did that, it wasn't like on purpose. I don't even know why you would not disclose it. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't really matter, I guess, to me, of whether or not someone knows that I was given this book. I think I'm definitely more likely to, I'm definitely of the mindset that you should disclose when you're given a free book, because sometimes people are more likely to give a more favorable review or leave some, you know, certain things out or whatever if they feel obligated to give the review in the first place, right? And so I think it's important that you disclose that you were given this book so people can take that into consideration, that your review may be skewed by the fact that you don't want to lose your chance to review books with this publisher in the future. That's not the way I review things. I'm pretty harsh. I might be really nice in my videos, but you should read my Goodreads. I'm kind of harsh on my Goodreads. And so, but yeah, I always disclose. I don't understand why you want it. All right, number 4. Have you ever bought a book with no intention of reading it? So I've bought lots of books for other people with no intention of reading them, but buying a book for myself with no intention of reading it, again, I don't know why I would do that unless it was just like a collector's book, you know, a collector's item or something, but I still think I always would have the intention of reading it. Like, I have a couple of books that were published in the super early I think my earliest book is 1821. And one of them I was given, and one of them, I don't know how I came across those now that I think about it. But anyway, I have a couple of books that were published in the 1820s, and they're very brittle, and, you know, they're definitely falling apart, but I don't think that I would, like, not read them. I just haven't read them yet. and there's a lot of foxing on the pages, and so it's sometimes hard to read them. But just to buy a book just to display it, I don't think I've ever done that, and I don't know that I would. There's a lot of books in my house that I may never get to, but my intentions are to read every one. Number 5 is, have you ever got caught up in BookTube drama? I've never got caught up in BookTube drama, but I have had my own one little dramatic experience. Actually, I had 2 dramatic experiences. One dramatic experience I'll tell you in this one, and the next one I'll tell you in the next question. For a little while there, I would have somebody who would hit the thumbs down on every video like seconds after I published it. And I'm like, I don't really know what was up with that. But every time I publish a video, immediate thumbs down. And so one day, you can see it on my community posts, I just put up a little meme that said something like, to the person who keeps doing that, I'm so glad that you're so obsessed with me that you're right on the ball to dislike every video the second I put it up. And then I never had any more dislikes after that. I never had any more thumbs down since I put up that little thank you to my unliker. So if that's you, hi, thanks for sticking around the video so long. And what's up? You're weird. All right, number 6, have you ever had a hate comment and did you respond? So yes, I did have, it wasn't a hate comment. I don't know, it was a mean comment. It was definitely mean. But I talk all about that. Let me find the link. I talk all about that in the video called You Are Closed-Minded, How to Survive and Thrive on BookTube. This is a really good video, I think, for anybody who spends a lot of time on social media, especially if you have a channel, especially if you are very engaged with commenting and that kind of thing. We gotta love each other and be kind. And there's ways to deal with things to keep the drama down, right? And so I messaged the person and explained to her why all of her logic was so full of fallacies. And then I made the video, kind of just encouraging all of us, to treat each other well and to just live and let live and whatever, because that's what makes BookTube great, right? We're not picking on each other. You don't have to proselytize, just enjoy. And if you're not enjoying, click out and find something else to listen to. But we don't need to pick on each other. Okay, so you guys can watch that video if you're interested. All right, number 7, have you ever made a video just because you knew it would get views? So every video that I make hoping it's going to get views. I make them to get views, right? That's a big part of the whole point. I want you to watch them. I want you to talk to me. And then I'm going to talk to you. And then I'm going to go watch your videos. And then we're BookTube friends, right? So yes, I don't think that I've ever made like a clickbaity sort of title. I don't think. Sometimes I go back and revise my titles to be a little more interesting after they've been up for a little while. But yeah, I don't like try to lure you in with falsehoods. Yet I'm hoping that all of my videos will get views, because otherwise I don't even need to turn the camera on, right? Just talk to myself. Number 8, if you could go back to the beginning of your channel, would you do anything differently? I don't think so. No, I think my channel has just evolved into what it is, and I like it, and I have no regrets. Just wish I had more time to make more videos. All right, number 9, are there any channels you wish you could be more like? No, not really. I like my channel, and I think that if I try to emulate someone else, right, like part of the big reason why we watch different booktubers is because everybody is really unique, and we're trying to get different perspectives and people's likes and learn from them and be inspired and all that stuff. And so the best thing we can do for a successful channel, in my opinion, is just to totally be who we are, because the people that gravitate towards those sorts of personalities, right, they're going to stick around, and the people that you drive crazy are going to go find somebody else to watch, and all that is totally fine. There are a ton of people on here that I admire. If I even start naming names, I'm going to leave people out, but I can think of a few people that I've watched since the beginning of my booktubing that I really admire. Farah from Bookstalgic and Nicole from Noteworthy Fiction. And then I started watching Katie from Books and Things. I like Olive from A Book Olive. I think I would like to focus on speaking as intelligently about books as Olive does. I know I'm capable of doing that, but it's easier just to be a big dork. So maybe I'll step up my academic game a little bit. As I got into BookTube a little bit and started branching out in who I was watching, I found Debs at Raina Read Stuff, and I adore Debs. I feel a strong connection to her. I think that we have similar personalities, and I love watching. I watch everything she puts out. I just really, really like her, and she is just a fantastic person. I have started watching Ruben at Two Readers It May Concern. Again, I like how he speaks so academically about the things that he reads. That is inspiring, just that, intelligent discussion. I am inspired by Mark at Book Time with Elvis. I love watching his walk videos when he shows the beautiful landscape around his home, his little village, I guess, that he lives in. I get tons of book recommendations from Rosamond at Books from My Bookshelf. She reads so many books that I have read and enjoyed, or just talks about books that I'm like, I know I will love that book. So she is one of my go-to people for inspiration on titles, and I think we read similar things. And also Nicole at Noteworthy Fiction. I've got a lot of inspiration from her. And then lately I've started watching Anne from In Search of Wonder. She just is sweet. I really like Anne, and I like hearing her perspective on books. Again, we read a lot of the same things also. It's so hard to name everybody because I feel like I have so many good BookTube friends here. And so I guess instead of talking about everybody I want to be like, I guess I'm just talking about everybody I like. And then number 10, what is something you love about your channel? I think I like how I feel when I make a bookish video. It's fun for me. It's a relaxing sort of channel. I don't feel like a lot of stress. And the responses are kind, and very rarely, in fact, that one negative comment I talked about is the only negative comment that I remember. It is a place where people don't pick on you if you don't think exactly the same or read exactly the same stuff or have the same response and those sorts of things. It's a place where people actually want to learn from one another. And I love that. And I love to be able to contribute to that also. I hope that I'm bringing something positive to the community. I feel like I am. And that is because just doing this makes me happy. And I love talking about books because I love reading books. And it's like smart people stuff. And I like smart people stuff. So anyway, guys, this was a really fun tag to do. I will tag some of you in the description box, but if you want to do it, consider yourself tagged. And make sure and tag me so I can come back and watch your video. Have a beautiful day. I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.